Hello everyone and welcome back again. So now that I've managed to get the onion video out of the way, and if you haven't watched that, I do suggest you go back and watch the previous video. It's all about setting up the space for the onions. Now that I've got all that out of the way, I feel like I can show you a bit more of what's going on around here, because I didn't want to ruin that for that video only. But we're going to do a bit of a tour. We'll have a look around what's going on in this polytunnel, what's happening in the garden, in the other polytunnel, in both grow tents and in the grow lights in the shed. So gonna have a look at everything today, the good, the bad and the ugly, and thought what better place to start than in the polytunnel out the back. This is the newest polytunnel that we built this last spring. There's a whole playlist on that. If you'd like to go and watch that, please feel free to do so. But in the back here, we've got the polytunnel inside of a polytunnel with the grow light, the Spider Farmer SF600, and we've got all the giant onions into that. I'll come and grab the camera and we'll have a closer look at everything. But we've added a shelf on the side here. This is just temporary. I would like to make something a bit wider eventually, and something that can come down or be folded away in the summer. But for now, I've just used these shelf brackets and a piece of 8x2 that I had lying around, which is currently holding all these seedlings and trays up here. So it's ideal for now. So all that I need. I've brought this table in just to keep everything up off the floor, stops the dogs getting hold of anything or knocking anything over, and brings everything up closer to natural daylight. So we'll start off by having a look at the onions. We've got some Bedfordshire Champions here. These in the back were multi-sown and I've just potted them on into larger cell trays. And these I've individually pricked out and potted on individually. We've got the giant onions, the Elsa for Pete's Giant Onion Growing Challenge, the Long Day, and the Graham Barrett Giant. I have just done a detailed video on the onions, so I'll pop a link to that on the end screen. If you haven't already watched it, please check that out. And along this shelf, we've got a couple more trays of multi-sown Bedfordshire Champion, and then some Golden Gourmet shallots. These were second planting. I've got some others that are just starting to come up in the other polytunnel. We'll have a look at them in a bit. Alongside them, we've got some condors. These, I've cut them up into individual chits and put them in. Just see signs of them starting to come up there. So they should be coming up anytime soon. We've got some Casablanca. So I've put these in individual cell trays. These will all get planted up once they've grown on a bit. And then we've got some Maris Pipers chitting in here. Should probably take these cushions down, really stopping a lot of light. But these are going to all be getting planted in the next few days anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And in these two trays, we've got some Pablo beetroot. They were sown last week, I think. No sign of them yet, but they should germinate fine in here. I have already started sowing potatoes, so we've got 4 buckets of rocket. These have just got, I think, 4 seed potatoes in each tub. Any of the larger seed potatoes I've cut in half or into 3. So we've got 4 of the rocket. These were planted on the 9th of February. We've got 2 Maris Piper that were planted on the 16th of February. And then there's 2 of the purple potatoes that I grew last year. And on this side, we've still got 3 30-litre containers, 1 basket and 1 35-litre bucket still to harvest. They are only small potatoes in them, but I think there's 2 Picasso and a Performer, and I'm not sure what was in them too. Still got carrots in this tub. These need to come out really. Not doing the best, so we'll get them out. We'll use them anyway. Get them out, get them tubs all cleared, get ready for another planting of them. These 2 are empty. We've got the garlic for a green garlic. So pretty much all of these, except for 1 or 2 maybe, came up. So be interesting to see how they do. They're doing a lot better than the garlic planted outside. And we've also got the ones in this pot. And I think there was 1 or 2 that didn't come up in here as well. But plenty to go at, and it's a trial, so anything is better than nothing. Got a couple of hanging baskets, not much going on, just keeping them alive really. I will top these up with some fresh compost and probably plant fresh plants in the tops. The begonias, they'll be alright, and the fuchsias, they should be okay. They should come back. I have been, well, I got it all delivered, but multi-purpose compost. I've gone for clover. I didn't use this last year, and the quality of this compared to a lot of other composts is just, you can't beat it. But I managed to get 20 bags of that, and I've also got a few other bags down there. But oh, and we've also got the early strawberries up there. Hopefully they should be growing along nicely. But I've just put this shelf above the door, and that just keeps them up there out the way and out of reach. So that is it for in the polytunnel. We'll go and have a look around the garden and head on round to the polytunnel at the back. There's really not a whole lot going on out here, but the grass is looking better than it ever has at this time of year, so that's a bonus. These 3 beds are empty. Zoom out a bit. This one needs a bit of work. I've got some paint to paint them all. I'm going to pressure wash them all and paint the outside of this polytunnel and all these beds. They're going to get a coat of paint once we get a nice dry few days. But these 3 beds are all empty. They've all been covered up with cardboard. The long roots, I have filled all of these, and I have sown seeds in them. Whether or not they germinate, don't know, but we will find out. All the compost bays are full. These 2 are ready to be used. These 2 are still breaking down, but once we empty these 2, I'll flip these into there, and then we can start filling these again. I'm currently filling that one at the moment, but it won't be long until that's full. It's just not as much green at the moment, so let's slow down a bit. Up on the top here, we've got the elephant garlic. So we've got 4. These were normal cloves. They've all come up, and then we've tried different amounts in all these. So we've got 3, 4 and 6. So these were larger bulbs that hadn't split, and no sign of any of the bulbils as of yet. But there's still time. They're taking up no space up here, so I'm quite happy to leave them there for now. And if nothing comes of it, we'll just stick something else in that pot. Love the little flowers on this 3-cornered leek. It's either 3-cornered leek or wild garlic. I've called it both, and I've been told I'm wrong both times, but to me, that's definitely 3-cornered leek. It's got 3 corners. It smells like garlic. The garlic in the baskets, that's all coming along quite well now. Because again, one or two that haven't come up, but other than that, I've had quite good germination rates with it, or growth rates should I say. Do we need to sort that out? Go back in there. And then right at the end here, this is where we planted 3 whole bulbs, all the cloves still attached. So it'll be really interesting to see how they do. All 3 of them have come up as well. And just some spare strawberries along the back here. All daffodils and flowers starting to come up, tulips, daffodils, all of them starting to come up here. All these beds have been cleared and topped up with some fresh compost. I've put a load of mini daffodil bulbs in some of these and thinned out the strawberries a bit, giving them a good tidy up. Same with all these pots, they've all had some fresh compost put in them, and we've got all the tulips, daffodils. These were all bulbs that I'd left in a couple of these containers from last year, and I let them all dry out, and I've just replanted them all this year. I haven't been and bought any, so that's a good thing. Still got a load of parsnips up here to harvest and some more down here to harvest, but we've got all the elephant garlic planted in the back and the double XL, which was sent by Pete. They're coming up now as well. And then these were the spare elephant garlic that I had. I just put them in pots. I've planted a couple and I've got 3 more still to go. Hopefully it should finish along there. That way we'll have a line of elephant garlic front and back, should deter any pests. And of course, round the back, got chickens. It's a bit wet in here. We have had a lot of rain the last few days, but they're all coming along really well. They've all settled in really nicely, giving us plenty of eggs every day. They're in there at the moment. Bobby's already been in here today. But they have all settled in really nicely, and we're getting 3-4 eggs a day. I do need to cover here with wood chips and sort out this water issue, but it's a bit higher up here, so it's a bit drier. So what I've been doing is when I change their beds, I just throw the bedding down here. But I do really need to sort here out. Job for a dry day. So polytunnel at the back, not a lot going on. I've got a couple of garlic in pots up here, and then we've got more garlic in these containers here. They've all come up, but they don't seem to be doing as well. I think they've been battered by the wind up there. It does really get hit hard here. I am in the middle of clearing all this out. Going to dig out most of the strawberry plants from in here, raise the soil level up and replant them. So in the good old polytunnel in the back, this is the first one that I built. Quite a bit going on, but not a whole lot going on, if you know what I mean. So we've got all seedlings in trays on top of a piece of polystyrene here. Got some broccoli, cabbages, cauliflowers, swede, Brussels sprouts, red cabbage. Got a couple of spare garlic left over, but all the other ones that I did in the cell trays, I've just been planting them in these pots. I did them in case we didn't have germination on a lot of the ones outside, but as they've all come up, I've managed to pop all these into pots. I've done them all a bit differently. I've put 1 in some of them, 3s, 2s, and quite a few in that one. Just experimenting to see different pot size, how many I can get away with putting in that pot size. If they don't bulb up, then we can always use them as green garlic. So again, nothing lost there. We've got all strawberry runners and some sweet williams back there. These are the Jamor shallots. These are all my own saved. There's roots coming out the bottom of these pots now. Just started to grow along. I was a bit late planting them, but they'll grow nonetheless. We've got some spring onions and beetroot still going there. Just been picking out the smaller ones. But they haven't really come to much. Tried growing them over winter. They haven't really done much. Still got some lettuce here. Just been picking off the outer leaves as and when I want them, but haven't really been using much of them. It's really slow growing over winter, so it's probably not worth doing, but they've taken up no space there, cost nothing, and haven't taken up any of my time. The only other thing in here is we've got on the shelf above the door, we've got another garlic in that pot. A couple of the onions that never made it, they came straight out here and have been out here since. So for anyone worried about putting them out, they will be fine, they just won't grow much. Some more strawberry runners, some more sweet williams, and another sowing of beetroot in the back there. We've got plenty of sweet williams to be planting out and potting on. And a little bit extreme, but this is the 3rd time I've shown my sweet peas. First 2 times mice got them, so this time it's not happening. I've put them as high up as I can in here, right at the top of the polytunnel, and there's 1 or 2 of them just starting to come through now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have some sweet peas. And if the mice get them from up there, I'm not buying any more seeds this year. We'll just grow something else instead. So that is it for in this polytunnel. We'll pop in the shed, have a quick look at the peppers and tomatoes, see what we've got going on there, and then have a look under the other grow lights in the shed in the house. Just see how they're getting on. There's not much going on there, but there's seeds in. So at the moment, the 80 by 80 is now empty. I've just moved the onions out. So we're going to get some of the giant veg moved into here, which will give us a bit more space in there to move some other bits in. But in here, we've got the peppers, which I have just done a video on. Not really a great deal going on with them, but they'll be getting potted on soon, and hopefully growth should start to happen a bit quicker. We've got some more onions back here. We've got Fasto and Red Baron, they're all coming through. We've got some of the giant tomatoes for the heavies, a lot of them have come through. I did do 2 sowings of eggplant, but neither, there's 3 in here and 1 in here, and nothing's come up there. My own giant cucumber, did a bit of a germination test on some of the seeds that I've saved, and out of 15 seeds, I think 14 came up. So I've potted on 6 into here, and there's another 6 in the other shed, they can come out here now that we've got a bit more space. So if anyone is interested in growing giant cucumbers, let me know. I've got plenty of seed for them, and germination rates are quite high on those, so I will send them out if anyone's interested in that. We've got giant kohlrabi, giant cabbage, giant swede, 2 giant radishes, and 1 in a toilet roll tube, which don't know whether to plant that when the time's right. Try and keep it going, see how long I can get it in the tubes, keep stacking the tubes up. This is 2 kitchen roll tubes stacked together. I reckon I can get another 1 or 2 on there, maybe plant it out, get a head start on the long radish. But that is it from in here, so we'll pop on over and have a look in the house. Quite a lot going on, really. So in the shed attached to the house, we've got 2 T5 LED grow lights under the shelves here, and we've got quite a bit going on under here. So under here we've got 2 T5 LED lights daisy chained together. We've got the Garland Super 7 heated propagator at the back, and then I've just got a normal heat mat a bit further under that tray, just to keep everything at a nice temperature. So we'll have a look at some of the plants. If this carries on flickering, I'll just turn the lights off for a minute. But right at the back, we've got some corno di toro, sweet peppers. They were my second sowing. Right in front of that, we've got some lobelia, trailing lobelia. They're just starting to come through now. Another 6 of my own giant cucumber. These are my main tomatoes. We've got Goldwyn, Sun Gold, Maisie, a dried goch, and Realizing. They're all from Edwins of Anglesey. And then on this side we've got the tomato canario, which I brought back from Gran Canaria. We've got tomatillo, purple tomatillos. They're the ones with a bit of a husk on them. Torenzo and Gigantimo. They were given to me by my sister for my birthday. We've got some petunias, some more trailing lobelia in the back there, some matador lettuce, again from Medwins of Anglesey, some busy lizzies, some more petunias in that one, some carnation in that one, lupins, giant beetroot, more giant radish. We've got a parsnip that we're going to try and do for the heavy parsnip there, and some more that I had sown for the long roots, but I've direct sown them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be using these. But we've got a couple of beetroot up and 1 of the radishes up, and nothing on any of the others. And the only other thing that's going on is the giant onion that I'm setting for seed. That is coming along quite nicely now, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 shoots on that. I've been peeling it back a bit at a time, just taking each layer off and making sure that I'm getting all the way down to the root, just so it doesn't rot at the base here. I have got some potato tubers just out in these trays. They're not really on a windowsill or under light. As you can see, these ones were some more condor, and I've just cut these the other day and just letting them form a bit of a skin along here, and then we'll plant them out as individuals. Hopefully get a giant potato for Malvern. But we've got Picasso, Vivaldi, we've got Maris Piper, we've got Rocket, we've got Ola. I've got quite a few different varieties this year, and we've gone all new. But we'll have a closer look at them when it comes time to planting them. But for now, that is it for me. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.